So I'm trying to think of the exact age because in my book there's a chapter about a girl who lies about her age to me, and then her friend tells me I meet her parents, and the weirdest thing happens. I get a feeling to take a walk in the cold when I don't want to, and money appears out of nowhere. Anyways, that really happened, but there's a part of it that bothers me. When she lied about her age, she was barely almost 18 was her real age. Just about 18. She had like 2 months to go for 18. I was 20, but did she lie and say her age was 18 or 20? I think she told me she was 20 when she needed cigarettes and she was only 1 year short of buying cigarettes because the age was 21 at that time. But I also remember her saying that she was above 18, so I keep on getting the number 18. So I'm pretty sure she said her age was 20. And I asked her friends, they all said 20, 20, 20. But after only 6 days, one of her friends told me she wasn't age 20, and so I brought it up to her and got the truth, which I had to break up with her and told her as soon as she turns 18 to give me a call. Even though she was overweight and people gave her a hard time for her overweight, her mother lost most of the weight, so that's good to know. And it wasn't like a whale or nothing. It wasn't humongous bubblegum thighs, and excuse my talking, but there's a difference between a heavy girl and a whale, if you can. I don't like using those words, but it's a better description of what I'm trying to say. Just like if you're trying to describe a disabled person that is mentally disabled, when I say it like that, what do you think of? 100 different people? Somebody who can drive a car? I know many mentally disabled people that can drive a car. But when I'm trying to describe a friend of mine, or shouldn't say friend, somebody I worked with named Raymond, it's not a good description. He has the mental capacity of a 7 year old. He'll always have the mental capacity of a 7 year old, yet he's in his 50s. That is somebody who used to be in the 80s, 70s, 60s labeled as mentally retarded. Not as a harm, like you're fucking retarded. Not like that, no. He's mentally retarded, and that is the phrase to describe his illness. Now, the doctors have not fully, they have a bunch of maybe it's Asperger's, maybe it's autism, maybe. But his mother didn't want to bring him to the doctors, and nobody could deal with him, so he was just kind of like dropped to take care of himself, but he couldn't, so he has no skills whatsoever. And he goes in and out of programs to apartments, but the programs are tired of dealing with him, so is the state, because he makes up stories constantly for fun, and he likes to say his workers, doctors, and the people that are helping him are abusing him. His mother, his father, his workers, his doctors, they all hit him, he says. Every single doctor and worker he's ever had hit him. And then he says this all the time. So he says these stories, and because of that, people don't want to deal with them because they're too afraid they're going to get into trouble. They're gonna think that somebody's gonna believe this guy one day. And that's true. I understand that fear. I've had that fear in me my whole life thanks to my mother making up stories about me. My mother and Raymond have a lot alike. Even though Raymond is mentally retarded and has the mental capacity of a 7 year old and lies all the time and makes up stories about people, my mother liked to make up stories about her son. When I won a swimming medal, my mother said that I was trying to hurt her by writing my old name on the back, and I stole it from an African American, and that it must be an African American's medal, and I'm a liar and a thief. But what really happened? I was in St. Anne's Orphanage. They brought me to a swim class. I treaded water the longest. I was given a medal. The staff member wrote my initials on it, told me not to have anybody steal it. I put it in my Lego box. I went through foster care. I went to adopted home. I went to show this accomplishment to my adopted mother. My mother stole my accomplishment away, called me names, made up fantasies and stories just like this Raymond, then went to doctors trying to have me drugged and medicated based off fantasies and lies and stories. This is the same thing that Raymond tries to do with his workers. His workers will tell him he needs to clean up his apartment, and then he'll call right after the meeting and say, my worker hit me, my worker hit me, my worker hit me. Why? For the same reason my mother's doing it. There's a lot of people who do this out there. So anyways, when you understand that. That's why I'm a little better at working with these people. I was trafficked I've never got justice. I'm still having seizures. I'm able to sit next to somebody who just tried to stab me, poison me, and lied about me. My mother. If I can sit next to a mother that just gave me an overdose, wants to give me extra epicaca punishments, literally threw my education in the trash, continues to poison me on Halloween, continues to make up stories to doctors. If I can sit by that person, I can sit by a crazy person that everybody knows is crazy, like Raymond. See, the problem is everybody hid my mother. They didn't want her crazy. Now, it came out. People saw it. It was recorded. But then I would just be moved to Texas where nobody knows her. And then when doctors start realizing what's going on, just move me to New Mexico. Then when I get abused in New Mexico, now they were never going to figure it out because my mother only saw me for 18 hours in an 18-month period. So they're not going to figure out shit. Meanwhile, after New Mexico, I moved to Maine. After Maine, I moved to Chelmsford. After Chelmsford, I moved to Haverhill. After Haverhill, I moved to Lawrence. After Lawrence, I moved to Chelmsford. Now, due to this, none of these are the same doctors. Nobody's getting to know me. Whenever I start getting help, they're cut off. So any medical help I'm starting to get in Westford at age 7 is cut off.